What's going down, people? It's your boy, Meyer Crawl, back again. We're here for the Dads Podcast. I think we kind of took a little week off, had a little vacation and whatnot, enjoyed myself. And we both had surgeries at the same time, so we needed the week. How was your surgery?
Man, my surgery was cool.
It was cool? Like it was like the resting or like the idea of the surgery?
I think the resting, because if I didn't have the surgery, I would have just still been on go mode. And people have been telling me, like, hey, chill. Like, that was my first time just chilling for 5 days straight.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's parents, bro. We don't really get to slow down a little bit. Oh, I'm forgetting about our audio people. The guys who aren't watching right now, I got my boy Sonny. It's me and him. We're doing a big update. So, round of applause, my boy Sonny. We back in the thing all over again. But yeah, Sonny, go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I always like being on the other side of the lens.
Yeah, man.
Man, you know how many times Sam like yelled at me because I couldn't stay still. I started cleaning. I started putting things up. It's like I don't do good sitting still, bro.
Nah, dog. A man is made to work, so we're gonna get up and work or play the Xbox.
Yeah, I did catch up on some Madden.
Oh, that's what's up.
And I ain't touched my PS5 in like months.
For a football player, I do not play much Madden. I actually don't play any sports games really like that anymore. I used to do NCAA, but now that they don't got that, I don't do
That's typical. A lot of people that played high level of a sport, they don't like playing it on a game. They be like, nah, I do this for real.
Yeah, I thought I would play more. And I guess because I never really went that hard. I took a big period where I just wasn't playing any video games. I thought I would play more so I can play with my son. But honestly, we play everything else. Like, I got him playing like Pikachu. We play a lot of Nintendo Switch. That's like our thing right there.
Yep.
I feel like for anybody who has kids that wants to play with their kids, that might be the easiest thing to maybe start off with. Because they got Mario, they got Pokemon, that's really, what else do we play? Pokemon, Mario. I don't think we really play anything else right now. I don't play Minecraft. That junk, too confusing for me.
Yeah, I didn't get into that
at all. Do you play any other video games other than Madden?
Madden, 2K, FIFA.
Okay, that's all sports then.
Yeah, I'm all sports. How was your surgery though?
Not bad, bro. It was kind of the same thing where I got a chance to sit still for a while. Got to play like I had the flu. Let my wife take care of me for a little bit, and then after that, you kind of got to get out of the funk. Stop taking my medicine and whatnot. One thing I did learn is that my kids care less if I'm hurt or if I'm sick. They act exactly the same. Like I had surgery on my chest, and probably at least the first day I probably got punched in the chest twice. Next day it was 5 times. It just kept going. They don't care. They want you to pick them up no matter what. Yeah. That's just how kids.
How did the twins take the fact that you couldn't quickly pick them up? Because I know they love being held by dad.
Yeah, I think it was more on my wife than anything. That's the one thing I think that feels the worst when you're sick. It's that you're about to put everything onto your wife or whoever your spouse is. You're about to literally pass everything over to them. So every time they would cry and all that stuff, I just felt bad because I knew she basically had to do everything by herself. I could only raise 10 pounds, I think, something like that.
Now, did you attempt to pick them up, and did she quickly holler at you?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Not on day one, and probably not on day 2, because I literally couldn't. I probably would have died. But after that, I did slow down, and I tried a couple times, maybe overexerting myself, try to sneak and do it. I was like, don't stop. Because honestly, it could either be one, she really didn't want me to hurt myself, or 2, if I did hurt myself, I was gonna be like that even longer, and she was gonna have to do it by herself. Did Sam have to get you a couple times?
Oh, all the time. But now the blessing was, what we did was with our foster babies, they went into respite for the time from the time I had surgery to the day I had post-op.
Okay.
Right? So it was just us, Val, and Sam's mom came down from New Jersey.
Respite is just essentially care where somebody else could come and help you during that point in time, or they go somewhere else?
They go somewhere else.
Okay,
right?
That's good, yeah.
So the house was very quiet, and the biggest thing she was just getting on me was me wanting to get my own food, or
Yeah.
me wanting to like, I saw some because. Mind you, this is the first time I'm home for a long period of time.
Yes,
So
because you
there's
be on
things.
the move, dog.
Yeah, there's things I'm like, oh, this needs to be fixed. Oh, you have this picture frame. Let me put this
Yeah.
up for you. Oh, Val, I think Val got like a new toy or something.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, Daddy, can you put this together? And then the minute she sees me, because with the nasal polyps,
Mm-hmm.
I had to be like this.
Were you awake?
Oh no, they knocked me out.
I'm
Oh no,
scared.
I ain't built like that. Even if they gave me the option, they
Oh,
knocked
okay.
me
Yeah,
out.
no, I ain't doing that, bro.
Yeah, but so my head had to be either pretty much straight
Mm-hmm.
or up. I did get a lot of editing done. I connected my MacBook to the flat screen in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I was like sitting, and the TV was like right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out. But other than that.
That was when we had the cool encounter with the Basement Podcast, right? I remember
Yeah.
you were sitting there, you were posting. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Like, what was?
I mean, I got a chance to catch up on some basement on YouTube,
Yeah,
and I was like, let me shoot my shot.
yeah, for sure.
So I tagged Upset the Gram,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 minutes later he hit me up, and I was like, oh. let me see if he'll come through here for the dads while his IG is green.
Yeah.
Right. So Rich, they did email us back. So
Okay, smooth.
Uncle Tim, if you're listening, we would love to have you on.
Oh man, and honestly, bro, like for any type of encounter, period.
Period.
Like right now,
We're trying to figure out how to go to Dallas.
that's all. That's all. And so I remember I was begging. I wasn't really begging T, because like we said, you start feeling bad about asking to do something that's gonna basically place more onto your spouse. I was not gonna ask Tiana, can I go to Dallas? I was just kind of hint at it, and she knows how much I watch it. She honestly knows how much we both watch it, how much we love him, how much we love the production that the Basement's put on since like the very beginning to now. And it's not even just content. I feel like I've personally grown as a man, as a husband, as a father,
everything.
like everything, bro. He's literally putting on cheat codes, and the guests that he has on are honestly like, I'll see them everywhere, but not really have like a personal, I just don't have any personal connection with them. As soon as they get onto the Basement and they have a conversation with him and they let out everything, they just become extremely vulnerable. All of a sudden, they have a new connection with whoever that guest is.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching all their stuff. I'm connected with who they are. Maybe reading their books and stuff.
Yeah.
So just to even like think about trying to go there, Tiana knows. So I remember I woke up the other day and I was just kind of looking at my phone, like just like looking at it, and my eyes got big, bro. She went ahead and bought my ticket and my event ticket to the Dallas
I
event.
didn't know this.
Yeah, dog. So when I was telling you about it, I don't think I understood exactly what had happened. I just sent it to you. She went ahead and bought the flight and she went ahead and bought the event tickets. So we're going. Well, I'm going right now. November 3rd, I'll be out that bad boy. And all I can think about right now is if they have a Q&A, what fatherhood question can I ask? Like, I have my own personal questions that I want to ask, but if there's any guests out there who are listening right now, if you got a question that you want me to take with me, bro, please send it to me, because Tim Ross, I love seeing him interact with his kids.
Yeah.
I love hearing how he talks about being a father and masculinity. I would love to get a chance to get a personalized question answered by him.
Yeah. No, he keeps it 100. I mean, I still play in my head that one episode, and he said, hey, he had a real conversation with his son.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, let me know right now, am I raising men for the kingdom? Or I think he said, niggas for the prison.
Ooh, that's keeping it real though.
Right? And ever since he said that, I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah, and that's
He just keeps it a buck.
yeah, and I like that. There's times to sugarcoat things. Like my sister would tell you otherwise. She don't sugarcoat nothing. But I think that there's times to sugarcoat things so you're able to communicate with somebody effectively if they're not going to hear you a certain way. Like I get that. But he doesn't tiptoe around conversations. And that's essentially what I want to be as a father too. I don't want to tiptoe around conversations with my kids, but I don't want to scare them either. Like I don't want to scare them about anything.
No.
And that is where I think a little bit of contention has come between me and my wife. Like nothing big, but I think sometimes she either thinks that I'm giving them too much information too early, and she could be right. But I don't, one, want to lie to them, and two, I don't want to disrespect their intelligence. Like, I want to let them know what's going on
Yeah.
and why it's going on. So if my son asks me now about the war, right? If he asks me about Hamas, asks me about Israel, I'm going to find a way to tell him exactly what's happening, not based on what's on the news, but what I believe is happening. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. I don't have to tell him, like, hey, they're cutting off baby heads and they raping people and all that stuff. I don't need to tell him maybe that stuff.
Right.
I'm saying, hey, baby, some really bad things are happening.
Yeah.
And this is why it's happening, and this is possibly what we could expect.
Yeah. Speaking of that, because you're in the Navy, and I know President, and I'm not that political. So.
Yeah, me neither, bro. Don't get me wrong. I am not.
But like you being my best friend, and the minute I hear like relief packages, because sometimes giving, sending out servicemen is part of a relief package. Is that something that's being communicated to you?
When you
Is
say
that-
relief package, what do you mean? Like,
No,
like
like a
I'm
pa-
thinking like
like-
care package.
no,
Like,
and it might be the wrong word.
talking about
but
like sending people for relief, like humanitarian relief and stuff like that.
no, sending for. I don't even know what side we're taking.
Yeah, I got you.
But like sending military personnel from either Air Force, Navy, whatever, to at least help keep a barrier.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, the best way to think about it is for us, for use of force, there's 6 different levels.
Yeah.
For some people, there's 7 different levels in the continuum.
Okay.
The very first one, and most military people, policemen, anybody in certain type of force, they'll tell you the first step is presence. It's like the same thing as if you have an alarm system and you take a little sign and you put it out in front and it
Yeah.
says like, we are secured by so-and-so, or
Right.
you are being watched.
Right.
That is presence. Like, that is you pushing out for and saying like, hey, just to let you know we're here. So a lot of times when you hear about relief or us sending our forces anywhere, that's what you're hearing. It's like, we are now going to push our forces forward so that we can be present, so that they can see, hey, whoever you're fighting is not alone. It's like your homeboy, if you in the club and you going back and forth with somebody and they pull up behind you and they do like this,
Right.
they're just showing presence. Like, they're
Right.
not punching nobody, they're not swinging, we're not intercepting missiles or anything, although we may be prepared to do that. Right now, it's just the presence. So usually that's when you hear when you're talking about some type of like relief or like sending our forces out there. But
So now is Azai asking like, "Hey, Daddy, will you have to go away soon?" To help?
no, not yet. I don't think he knows what's going on. As we were watching church this morning, he did hear a few things that got to talking about Israel, like the war. And I don't think he really put 2 and 2 together. We don't really watch the news that much in the house. But if he was to ask, I would probably give him some type of pieces, because we do have friends right now who have just been sent like last minute over there. We have friends who are getting pushed from Kuwait to further to that side. We got friends who are now just got like 10-day notice, like, hey, you're gonna fly out to this area just in case. So when he's asking like, hey, where did Auntie so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so go, we're probably gonna give him a little bit of information. But actually, now that we're talking about this, I wrote down a few things that I got off of a Instagram post, and I'm gonna make sure I don't do any plagiarism or anything like that. I'm gonna tell you exactly where I got it from. And they were talking about things that you can bring up with your kids and things that you shouldn't bring up with your kids. And that's what I want to talk about, like things that maybe you should tiptoe around a little bit when you're talking to your kids. Let's see.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, it is from, what is the name of this? I don't got my glasses on. Parenting with Kelly. So at Parenting with Kelly on Instagram. Thank you for this list. This is awesome. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. It says topics that probably shouldn't be discussed with your children. The first one, negative opinions about other family members or people that the children has a good relationship with.
Now, is it telling you? Is it going to give you a background why?
So I think they wrote a little bit of background why, like in the caption, but let's make up our own background why.
I already know why.
Talk to me.
They might say what I said
Yes,
out loud.
that is the first thing I think of, bro. Anything you say in front of your kids, they will repeat. Like, you gotta pay attention. If you go, let's say there's just like, let's say it's just like, I don't know, Auntie whoever you ain't seen in a while. After you have the encounter with them and Auntie whoever leaves the room, if your kid is right there and you talk to your wife and go like, man, she was thinking, man, she
Right.
don't be doing so and so. I don't know why she even still with him. Because every time she with him, she be acting all funny and different and whatever, right? The next time you see her, you are with your child. They will bring up that same encounter either in front of them or in front of somebody else. They're not trying to be malicious, but they don't forget anything.
Nothing.
And you cannot underestimate your kids, bro, because they always listening.
Always.
You got it. You got. Who's the one? Ooh, this is a good one because I know who mine is. I'm not saying he a snitch or nothing like that, but who's the one out of your kids? If you say something, you know it's gonna get repeated.
Valerie.
Valerie. I can't see that, bro. Like
Valerie.
I can see her always observing, but I can't see her snitching, bro.
So she's in New Jersey right now with Nana, Papa,
Okay.
and my mom called Sam, and my mom was called Sam laughing, and she was like, Valerie just said that sometimes when mommy gets a little upset
Mm-hmm.
and she's on the phone with somebody, she would use potty words.
Ooh.
Right? And then luckily she didn't say the potty words.
Okay.
I'm glad she said just potty words. And she just randomly said,
She just straight snitched on them.
yeah, I was like, and then when my wife told me, I just busted out laughing.
Bro.
But Valerie is the first person to repeat it.
Yeah, no, you can't. Bro, you can't do nothing around the kids. They will tell in a heartbeat. And I felt some type of way maybe sometime last year because I remember the teacher told us that she uses Azai kind of like not as her tattletale or whatever, but she says if anybody does anything wrong in the class, she knows that Azai is going to tell her. And at first I was like, oh, that's good. And Tiana was so happy. And then I was like, wait, that makes him like the teacher's pet. And I don't think really anybody likes the teacher's pet. When I,
It's so funny that we're talking about this. So, did you listen to Mike Todd's latest 2 weeks ago about snitches get stitches?
I remember watching it. I remember watching the title or him mentioning it, but I don't remember the whole thing. I remember somehow worrying Thomas and stuff like that. Talk to you. What was he saying?
So pretty much, he used the analogy that normally snitches get stitches, like people will beat you up. But the way that he's coming from it is when you snitch and you tell the truth, the Lord is able to
Oh.
stitch up and heal you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just funny that this is like is a topic.
This was on when he was with Tim Ross.
He no.
Okay, so
No.
maybe I listened to
So
some of the.
he mentioned it
Okay.
on that, but his actual church transformation, church sermon,
That's what it
that
was
was
on.
like the whole topic.
Okay, perfect. Now it makes sense. I was like, I remember him talking about it. But it was because I was listening to the Tim Ross podcast and heard him mention that. And that's good that you said it. We're going to deter from this just a little bit because I watched that happen in like real life this weekend with my family. We went to the cabin out in Littleton, North Carolina. It was beautiful. We had all the kids with us. It was about a few family members from Tiana's side. And then my entire family, except for my dad, he's still out in Africa. He should be back soon. But we had a really deep conversation. And it had every adult in the house was involved. The first night, well, actually, the way me and my sister are, we break up everything. We're like business professionals nonstop, like 24/7. We should probably slow down. But we wrote an entire itinerary for the whole weekend where we knew exactly where we were going to eat. We knew what type of games and events we were going to be playing and when. And we had like some type of, I guess like what do you call it? I don't know, a briefing or a meeting every night. So the first night, because my sister's a therapist, she went over like healthy conversation and how to communicate actively and all the other stuff. So the next day, we
Wait,
started.
pause.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was a therapist. Why is she not on the pod yet?
Man, I've been asking her, bro. I've been begging her and her friend. Maybe coming from you, bro.
Where's my kid? Okay.
Talk to her, bro, please.
I'm sis. We need you on here.
Come on.
We need you live and direct.
Yes.
I will see you soon.
Thank you, bro. I've been asking her. She's like, oh, no, I don't know. And I don't know, man. That's just how my sister is. But we talk every single day. But because of her, we got to have a very healthy conversation around between my parents and us, things that were hurting us, things that hurt her, things in her past, things in our past. We got to talk about generational curses. we got to talk about so much on both sides of the family, and things became in full circle. And what somebody said, actually, what my brother-in-law John said before he left, he was like, essentially, because we bought all these things up in front of each other, the enemy won't be able to use this against us. And I was like, oh, that's so dope.
That's good.
That's exactly Stitches.
That's good.
That's the whole thing. But yeah, man, I would definitely go back. I can't wait till next year when we have like our next family session.
I'm about to invite myself. Put the peers in.
We really wanted you to come too. Like we were going back and forth. It was like, hey, should we like have some more of our friends come over? And then I remember you mentioned like family photos and stuff like that. We had so much stuff going on. I don't even think we even brought the conversation back up again. But I was happy to have my kids see what it looks like to have the entire family together like
that's
that.
Dope. That's dope.
So let's go to the next one, bro. All right, so something else that you should not have a conversation about in front of your kids. Marital problems, especially those that have nothing to do with the child or their world. I might have to read that one again because I agree, and I'm not going to say I disagree because I don't think I disagree. It was just the way that they said it because it says marital problems, especially those that have nothing to do with the child or their world. And the only reason why I'm reading it again for myself is because I think even if it has something to do with the child, if it has anything like marital in it, I think you can still figure it out without them. Like, I don't think they need to know unless they have the need to know, right? Am I tripping?
So, one, I think it's one, it depends what age range the child is at, right? Like, if it's like our kids at the age that they are in now, I don't think it needs to get that deep.
Yeah.
Or even, I don't even think they need to know, right? Yeah. Because the last one, same thing. They can go ahead and repeat, oh, mommy and daddy's not friends right now and all that stuff, right?
Oh, okay. I see where I get what you're going.
And then second, it can cause an emotional effect to them.
Yeah.
Now, if they're older, let's say my siblings who still live in the house, they're not stupid.
Right.
And if they ask questions, I think what would make, especially if they're like intellectually smart to understand stuff, I think it's better to keep it a buck with them versus saying something that they don't know. Because then it's like, man, mom and dad told me to tell the truth, and they're not even telling the truth.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Right?
No.
Because I know I don't want my daughter to ever hit me with that.
Yeah.
So I think that it just depends on what age bracket they're in.
Yeah. And along with that, I think you have to be able to communicate it too. Because I don't think everybody has a different level of communication. Like, not everybody's good at being able to talk about stuff. So if you're like, okay, you're old enough to know, but then you go in there and you just tear down your partner in front of your child or to your child, that's probably not good.
No.
Now, if you know how to speak effectively and communicate to them, hey, me and mom or me and dad aren't on the same page about this, or this is something that we're working through. Until then, what you're going to see is so and so and so. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but other marital problems, I think you could probably figure out. I know on an episode we had before when my wife Tiana was on here, she mentioned she doesn't remember a time ever where her mom and dad ever mentioned anything about their marital problems. And because of that, they got to draw their own conclusions about their father until they all mended a relationship with him again and continue to move forward. So I guess that's definitely good.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, I think it takes some tact.
Yeah.
Definitely takes some tact. So let's go to the next one. Financial issues, especially when the child is helpless and can't understand the situation. I think it would be, for me, financial issues, like, never use it against them. I know I've always heard my parents say, like, you know, money is tight right now. And I don't think I really understood even what that meant. Like, did you have, as a child, any understanding of what your financial situation was in the household?
No.
No.
Not at all. Like, I knew, and I think my parents were strategic about this. I knew the one time of the year where you get a surplus of stuff, actually 2 times of the year. Before school starts, you get clothes, and at least 2 or 3 new pairs of sneakers,
Bruh.
and then Christmas.
Yes.
Right? Birthday, you might get hit with like that one big item that you want.
And it depends on when your birthday is too, I
Right.
think.
Exactly. So I really never had an idea of what was going on. But now, being older, looking back, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is why mommy and daddy did such and such.
Yeah.
Right? Because like now we're in a boat where we have to strategically plan stuff. Like I wouldn't say money's tight now, but like when you have 4 kids, you got to maneuver different,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Absolutely. You
right?
ain't got to
So,
tell
like,
me. Yeah.
Sam started Christmas shopping. My kids don't listen to podcasts yet. So.
All right, good. You
I'm
can go ahead, keep
I'm
it a
about to
buck.
snitch on that.
You about to say where you hiding them at too, bro?
Ooh.
They're not listening though. We good.
She started Christmas shopping like the end of September.
Dang,
Little
that's
bu-
good.
Bruh, like she was like, hey, we got something now.
Oh, that's when those little magazine catalogs start coming in the mail too, from like Target and Walmart. Oh yeah, okay.
Yep. Like me myself, I'm literally when they're watching like TV and a commercial coming on.
Yeah.
I'm like taking note on the stuff that
That's
like makes them go crazy. But yeah, but why I'm mentioning that you gotta maneuver differently, and now through maneuvering differently, it's strategically planning stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm like, aha, this is probably why my parents did such and such.
That's smart. That's smooth. I always remember asking for things. Like there was a point in time where I was just asking all the time before I started working and stuff. You know, being a kid, you don't know no better. And sometimes it'll be, added to your list for your birthday or added to your list for Christmas. And there were other times like, no, daddy don't got money for this right now. Or like money's tight right now. And I never thought about it as like, oh, we broke or nothing like that. I was just like, oh, daddy's saving money for something else. Like, oh, daddy, I'm like, but I seen you with this money, so you must be using it for like groceries or something like that.
Right.
But I never had my parents come up to me like, brrr, and pull out like, here's my student loans, here's all the bills, here's the utilities. I feel like it's wrong to like put all that stuff in your kid's face
Yeah.
and then make them feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Now I can say that for me, I tried my best. I think I did this a couple months ago because I found that as I was just getting upset about not getting his way, essentially, like he would ask for something, and maybe I'll buy something for Avery or for one of the other twins. It's like, oh, but I want one too. Oh, but why can't I have this toy and Spider-Man and Mario and Goku? Like, why can't I have all this stuff? And then I finally like asked him, like, bro, do you know what it means to like buy something? Do you know how you buy something? Do you know where the money comes from? Do you know how you make money? And he was clueless, as he should, because he has no clue, right?
Right.
So lately, now, after explaining to him, like, basically how I get the money in the first place, what I use it for and how I use it, without making him feel bad at all, like, understanding, hey, this is how we keep the lights on. Hey, we actually have to pay the house that we're living in. This is actually what I'm using the money for when I'm buying you groceries. Now, he works for his money. And we teach him now how to invest a little bit and how to save a little bit. And we're going to have a whole nother conversation on that when Lucas is on here. And he's going to talk about his book, which I'm so excited for. But we will talk about that. But now, anytime he picks up trash in the yard, he gets $1 or $2.
Right.
And he gets to use it on anything he wants.
Right.
So,
Let's take a quick commercial break.
yeah, for sure.
What's on your shirt, bro?
Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
This is the new Here for the Dads. I don't know if you can see if I go.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, like this. You like that right there?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Now, for a long time, bro, I've been thinking about like, I want my own merch, but I don't necessarily want to like sell it or anything
Nah,
like that.
that joint swaggy.
I've been seeing your stuff, bro, and I just went in, bro. I found somebody. Tiana bought me a couple like sweatshirts, which I really love, like some of the essentials, and then we just took it straight in, and dude just did a couple for me. I got a couple different ways that I had it designed and stuff, but I got some dope ideas. And I know you already said, hey, you want one. You haven't told me the color yet, so we'll work together on that.
Yeah, bro.
But I think because I can make them individually, I'll probably start taking a couple orders. If any of my followers or anybody watching right now, you guys just want one, hit me up. I'll just tell you the price. I'll go in and get one made and I'll shoot it right out to you. But I got a couple of them that I'm going to have like written on the side like, I got mouths to feed, or like, I'm a really dope dad, or like present father, and it's gonna have the Here for the Dads podcast logo on the side. So I'm hype about it, bro. So thank you, man.
That's swaggy.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I had to make sure we pointed that out.
Yeah,
Tough.
we going into the fall, man. So I mean, it's
Yup.
time to start getting some hoodies and some sweatshirts and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dog. But let's roll on to the next one, and this is the last one. I like this one. It says your weight, diet, or negative complaints about your body. I don't know if I agree with the diet part or the weight part. And they probably explain it a little bit more in the comments, and it's probably like if you're body shaming yourself.
Yeah.
And I could understand that. So why do you think she mentioned like diet though? Like,
Man, I think from the diet perspective is maybe so the child doesn't become cautious with themselves too early.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm in your boat because I'm like, if you could teach from a spiritual aspect, if you could teach your child about gluttony
Yeah.
from the jump the right way, then it's
You
cool.
know, to have a conversation with a child like what is healthy eating and like making like life changes rather than like for 30 days I'm not going to eat any of this.
Right.
This is like from now on I'm going to do a better job at not eating as many sweets. Like we're going to make a life change. And I guess as a child everything is gummies, candy, like you can have as many as you want all the time and they don't really think about what it could do to your teeth, what it
Yeah.
could do to your weight, like any of that stuff. So when you do introduce like what is healthy eating because these things are better for you, what it can do to your body, I think children will take it in a little bit more and understand like, hey, this is why this should be good. Or maybe I shouldn't have like this many of this.
Yeah.
It might still be a little bit hard to discipline themselves, but they'll get it once they start getting older. And they'll
Yeah.
get used to, you
Yep.
know, having vegetables and stuff like that.
That's it.
So, but there's something else I saw. Those are all of them. So thank you, Kelly. Like those were amazing. But there was something else I saw on TikTok the other day. I sent it to you. It was called Revenge Bedtime Procrastination.
Revenge bedtime.
If you've never heard of that before, that is what I have. If there's like something that I can get like diagnosed for right now, it's revenge bedtime procrastination.
You know what? You do be blowing up my phone.
At like 1 in the
morning, I'll be like, yo, my man's catching up. That's funny.
And that's exactly what it is. So if you don't know what it is, revenge bedtime procrastination is essentially you're upset about how much time was taken from you during the day. And if you have kids, you're a father, you're a mother, you definitely get it. You're constantly picking up toys. You got to go pick up the kids. You got to cook dinner. Any extra time or free time that you personally have, you are spending it on the kids. So finally, when you do get them down and to sleep, revenge bedtime procrastination comes. You're supposed to be in the bed, but instead you're scrolling on your TikTok. You're scrolling on your Instagram. You're watching the shows that you didn't get a chance to watch. You're responding to emails. You might have had somebody that called you in the middle of the day. And then that's when I start sending you Instagram reels at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And the crazy thing is, you respond.
Bro, I'm catching up too.
You respond.
I ain't mad at you. I'm catching up too. Oh, shoot. Because I'm editing at night and all that stuff. Or I'm finally responding to inquiries. So, like, I'm catching up everywhere.
That's good. So at least I know I'm not alone. And I know
You're not.
other parents definitely have that. We'd be all up in the middle of the night. It's usually a part 2, which is, I guess, interesting because me and my wife, we try to find, random intimate times, passing in the kitchen, I touch her hand and like slap her on the butt. I try to stop slapping her on the butt in public, like, or at least when I say in public, like in the house now. Because that has become Avery's new thing.
That's funny.
Slapping Tiana on the butt while passing her in the kitchen.
That's funny.
He almost got his head taken off the other day. He didn't even know, bro. So now
By you a T.
by T. I mean, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't know. Think about it. Like, naturally, as a husband, bro, we love our wives. They so sexy. It's just whenever you see them, it's like you don't even control your arm. Naturally, you just the booty. You see the booty, pap,
Magnetized.
just magnetize. You pap, slap her on the butt. So now every time Avery sees Tiana, as soon as you pass, pap, slap her on the butt. And bro, one time I saw that elbow come across, and I was like, he has no clue he was finna die right there in that kitchen, bro. I gotta do better. So this is me saying I'm gonna stop.
That's funny.
So yeah, he's gonna do better. But yeah, man. At least I know I'm not all alone when it comes to that. But it's got to be a little bit different because you got a lot more girls in the house than boys.
Yeah.
So I guess you can still slap butt.
Well, so I don't do it from the perspective is because you ain't about to think you're gonna be in school and something. Nah.
Oh,
So the way I still do it in the house, but I make sure there's no eyes
so
present.
you doing sneaky booty slaps?
Yeah. Sneaky.
Sneaky booty
Yeah.
slaps, like little discreet booty
Yeah.
slaps.
And Sam be like looking at me like, I'm like, I made sure.
Bro, yeah, okay, that's smart. I guess you can't just be doing it because you don't want the girls thinking that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So and that's real stuff. Like you gotta, I gotta be mindful of how I treat Sam
Mm-hmm.
or any woman. It doesn't matter if I'm in the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm the politest.
No, for real,
Oh, because that's how they should be treated,
absolutely.
right? Spoil the heck out of them, right? And even so, the situation that our foster babies came from, um, their perspective of how male or female adult should interact around each other
Mm-hmm.
was robbed from them.
Yeah.
Right? They have a poor, I guess, scenery of how they should be treated, how they should be talked to, all of that. So now my job is to make sure every day I'm pouring more good into them
Yeah.
to take the bad out, to overflow the bad, right? Because it's like a cup full of soap.
Yeah.
Eventually, if the water's still pouring, eventually there's not going to be any more soap in that cup, right?
Ooh.
So Troy has been introduced to a lot of things before coming to us at a very young age that shouldn't have never occurred.
Yeah.
So now,
Things he should have never seen.
correct. So now I'm making sure I show him, hey, this is how you treat your sister. This is how you protect them.
Yeah.
This is how you watch out for them. This is how you see how I talk to Miss Sam.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, right? Because I don't know what God's plan is, if it's going to become adoption or not adoption.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure as fast as possible I can instill the right. So if one day they have to be in a position to figure out what to do, what's right or wrong, hopefully they lean towards the right.
That is
Right?
beautiful.
So
No, it's. I mean, this has been extremely sobering for me to hear, and just knowing too, like as a father, you understand and are taking the responsibility to show both your son and your daughters what it should look like. You are the healthy model for like how a man should treat a girl, like a woman. You know what I'm saying? A boy treat a girl, man treat a woman, and vice versa.
Yep.
With you being on that spectrum, having all the girls in the house and doing those things, I guess it's been different for me just on the other end. Like I have to do the same thing with my wife and how they see I treat my mom, how they see I treat my sister and treat her as well, because they will then go from being a boy to being, an older teenager, a young man, and then a man, and I will have a lot to do with that. Things that they watch on TV, who their models are, role models are, their uncles, all that good stuff. And I watched a video the other day. It was just like a dad who was watching his daughter get asked out to prom. And bro, this dude face dog, he was just like, you could tell he was hot. And I don't know if it was just because he wasn't prepared for it to happen or he didn't like the guy that was asking, because dude had like a do-rag and a tank on while there was like a volleyball game. So, I mean, I want to ask, because you're a girl dad, and actually my boy Ty Dozier is super girl dad. I'm going to see if I can call him, because the one question that pops up in my head that you always hear that comes from the dad to the son is, what are your intentions with my daughter? And I want to know from like a girl dad's perspective, what type of things are you expecting? Like, what are you looking for? So let me see if I can actually get him on the phone. I want to hear what you say though.
this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I want to hear what he says, and I want to hear a little bit from you. Like, what are you really expecting? And let me see if I can get him.
Hello.
Hey Ty, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
I'm good, big dog. How you doing?
Not bad at all. And I hope the mic can hear you well. I got you on speakerphone. I got a quick question for you, bro. I know this is extremely random. I'm on the podcast right now. So we're doing this thing live. But with you being a girl dad, we
Yeah.
got to talking about me being a boy dad. And as we raise them, being older girls and out to the teenage age, and, of course, coming to be young men and young women, at some
Right.
point as a girl dad, you're going to hear her talk about her boyfriend. One of the girls going to say, hey, I'm bringing my boyfriend over. And
Right.
what we always hear as guys is the father asks, what are your intentions with my daughter? From your
Right.
perspective, I would love to hear what you might expect, what you want to hear from the son. Like, what are you expecting to hear from him, and as far as like intentions for your daughter?
Well, early on, probably the first time that I would have to ask that. Hopefully, it's not at an early age. I'm praying, but
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more like high school.
okay, okay, yeah. So high school, really just about the respect and showing her a good time, taking care of her. Um, yeah, I would hope that's the upfront answer I would get. Taking her out, treating her right. Most importantly, keeping her safe. Um, whatever, because they're going to be essentially with that person when they're not with us at the house. So just the protection, the respect, and the honesty with them and us as well. I would hope that would be their intentions. I wouldn't expect, from a high schooler to tell me, marriage, family, all that. It's just not realistic,
Yeah.
So I just want, they're going to grow up and it's going to be an important stage in their life right now. So while they go through it, I just ask that they, keep them safe, take care of themselves, take care of them, and just, treat them like the princesses and queens they're going to be.
Bad. Thanks, bro. And you're not ready for that yet, though, are you?
Oh no! I don't think I'll ever be, but I know it's coming.
For sure.
Man,
Awesome, man. Well, I love you, bro. I'll be calling you here soon.
for sure, dog. Love you too, man.
All right, man. Bad. That's good.
That was real good.
Especially, I love to hear like the protection part, like
Yeah.
because not that you're married, right? They're not as a father. You're not just handing your child over to the
Right.
boyfriend.
Yup.
But if they're driving the car, right? They're
Yup.
going to prom. They're doing whatever. They're going on dates. You want to know that your child is protected because that's your job. That's what
Yup.
you're expecting to do.
Yup.
What is your thoughts? Like, what are you expecting from a young man when you get to that point?
So he nailed it. I mean, the biggest thing is safety,
Yeah.
right? And just, hey, you're technically the person that my daughter is gonna look to if something goes down, if something happens, like just look out, right? And then other than that, is just respect, right? Because I think as a father, my daughter is not going to bring somebody to me that won't even that will not. Let me make sure I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna make sure the person come to me correct.
Yeah, don't bring me nobody crazy.
Right.
don't
Right.
act stupid.
Yeah. So, I mean, at that point, it's just me asking the reassuring questions.
Yeah.
Because I know they ain't gonna bring nobody crazy,
No.
right? So it's from that perspective. Now let me ask you this: you
Yeah.
being a guy,
Mm-hmm.
a boy dad, what are some things that you're gonna instill into your sons before they go ask a young lady out, or even ask their parents if they could take the young lady out?
Ooh, there we go. I like to. You already started on part of it when you're talking about ask the parents because I believe that parents should always be involved when it has something to do like with that. I can say let me go back first before talking about them. Me as a child, all the way into my teenage years, I was not allowed to date, like at all. I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend or any of that stuff. I couldn't go on no dates with nobody. I technically wasn't really even allowed to go to prom. So I don't say I was robbed from that point in time because I still had girlfriends. I still did all that stuff, but I wasn't necessarily taught specifically from my dad, like, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Now, I watched him with my mom and how he acted and reacted to things. So in that's what I've started with my son to right now. Holding the door open for women and holding the door from girls. Even when it comes to, like, him with another girl his age, I still try to show and tell him, like, hey, let them go first, let them do this and let them do that. Some people like that, some people don't. I'm still old school, so that's what we do. And then we have the conversations with, like, hey, this is the difference. The way you play with your brothers is not going to be the same way you play with your god sisters. Yeah. You're not going to be wrestling with them. You're going to be a little bit more gentle in the way that you talk to them and in the way that you guys play. So I'm hoping that also manifests as they get older. So he starts to understand, like, this is just a little bit different. Now, of course, we haven't even had any other conversation about, hey, do you like girls or any of that stuff, right? But I think when we do have those conversations, I'm going to be hopefully in those conversations with him to be able to communicate, like, these are the type of things that you should say. Don't get all crazy. When you do want to go out on a date, don't be sneaking around. There's nothing wrong with talking to the parents or talking to me about it so that I can get involved with their parents so you guys just don't have to have a problem where, like, you're both lying to us to go do something alone that can possibly get you in even more trouble down the line, because we're not going to act like sex isn't a thing and half days. Like, we've all been there as younger kids, sneaking around when you don't necessarily have to do that, I think, as parents, if we're involved.
100%.
So although I don't have, like, a direct answer to it, I've been trying little things here and there that are hopefully manifest into something bigger, like, when they get older.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
But yeah, man, I think this is all I really wanted. I really just wanted to catch up a little bit, being able to talk. I think we got a lot out, and we got to have a conversation about things that you should not say around your kids. And I think we're already there and on the same page about that. So thanks, bro. Thanks for doing this with me.
No doubt.
I think soon we're going to have a couple more other guests. I think my boy Drake's going to hop on here. Ty's going to be able to hop on here. So if you know those names, get super excited about that. But once again, this is Here for the Dads podcast. We out. Thank you for watching. You just listened to Here for the Dads podcast with Meyer Crawl. I am so grateful that you're here. But if you're new to this space, what I need you to do is slow down and subscribe, share, review, or rate. Whatever you can to help me out, because I'm on a journey to create a space for existing fathers and new fathers that's going to allow them to be a little bit more confident and a little bit more efficient at what they're doing. Thank you.